Nothing lasts forever. Especially not love. Obviously, we know that love is a chemically induced state whereby we see somebody with rose-tinted glasses, but despite knowing this we still tend to fall in love with women and think that each girl will be different to the last. I think as men, we are naturally more loyal, and once we've made homes, created our families and set in place our mark in the world, we are inclined to protect it, nurture it and provide for it. Such is the role of the man as it has been for thousands of years. A red pill truth needs to be reminded to most men regularly though, that is that women will not love you the way you love them, they will not have the same inclination to be loyal and stick with you. Nor will they have the same respect that you hold for them. The length of time you are with them, the number of children you have with them, the experiences you have shared with them, they are all of no consequence to her. I have 3 stories that highlight the reality of this red pill truth. The first is titled, "Did I reach a 6-year itch with my husband, or do I genuinely not like him?" It begins. I've been struggling with this question for about a year now. I'm back and forth with am I just bored, and I just don't like him. We've been together for 6 years and have no kids. We've been more like roommates than a couple for a while. We've always had problems, but the past year has been more apathetic. I don't feel like ever being affectionate with him, communication has always been bad, and I would rather avoid sex. I'm more at ease when I'm by myself. He on the other hand has been wanting to increase affection, increase sex frequency, and never wants the honeymoon phase to be over. It's been over for me for a long while. It could be our relationship dynamic where I feel more like his mommy than his wife and I'm just burnt out. I've been the breadwinner and the only one with ambition, while he struggles to hold jobs. I paid for all vacations and he threw temper tantrums on every single one. He's bad at lying and even when presented with evidence he doubles down. I have to pick up after him around the apartment. I have to do all the adulting. He also has insecurity issues that have existed since day one." End quote. There is a massive list of red flags on the guy's behalf here. Mainly that he is pathetic however and cannot hold down a job. It seems that while this woman was in her peak, she was able to tolerate the bad boy behavior of his lack of contributing to her life, but now she is aging, this is no longer acceptable. The key part here for men to note is that she is thinking these things, consulting an internet forum, and not talking to him. He is clearly in the dark here with her thoughts on leaving him. She seems on the verge of checking out on the marriage. The post continues. He's a good guy, supportive, needy for attention. I've definitely had a lot worse guys, and I am starting to think that maybe I'm just ungrateful, or bored, or this is just what marriage is after 6 years. He's been in another state for a few weeks to give us some space at my request, and it's been nice being by myself. I don't find myself missing his presence or feeling the need to talk to him. He told me today he's coming back early for a new job offer he got today, and my first gut feeling was, oh no, there goes my serenity. Have any of you been in this same mindset? What did you do? How did it pan out? I've never seen a successful happy marriage. I had a chaotic childhood with a carousel of stepdads, so I honestly don't know what a normal post-honeymoon phase relationship is supposed to look like. We're currently in marriage counseling, but we only just started, so we have a long road ahead. End of the post. An update is provided whereby she says she is going to file for divorce. This man is now going to pay for this. It's interesting that she states she has never seen a happy successful marriage, yet she got married. It's the typical girl thing of wanting to get married, not be married. In this topic, however, of love dying, we see a failed marriage. In this situation, the husband was a beater, he was weak, soft, and this will be a good lesson for him on women and relationships, one would hope. It has been a costly lesson, however. I'm sure he thought that he was with a woman who loved him unconditionally as they got married. This must have really shocked him. Moving on to post 2. This one is entitled, Women of Reddit Who Have Stopped Wanting to Have Sex with Their Significant Other, What Happened? Comment 1 says, so it was shortly after I turned 25, my sex drive just died. Nothing had changed, our wedding was in a few months, but we were already living together. Our 10-year anniversary is coming up and the anti-anxiety meds have made it worse. Comment 2 says, going through this right now. I'm slowly becoming unattracted to my boyfriend. It's breaking my heart. He has gained a lot of weight and stopped taking care of himself. He has lost interest in sex completely, and the constant rejection is making me not even want to try. When we do have sex, it's 10 minutes of jackhammering and I never finish. No matter what I try to do, the position changes I suggest, or foreplay I try to start, I don't get kissed or touched. I'm just over it. Try to talk about it and we get nowhere. This isn't going to last much longer. Comment 3 says, this happened in my long-term relationship before my husband. I think at the time I told myself it was because we'd been together for a long time, so the newness wore off, but I've been with my husband longer and I've never felt that way. Really, I wasn't feeling attracted to him emotionally. I wasn't feeling listened to or respected, and that made his physical appeal go way down. I didn't feel excited about him or our partnership. I didn't even feel like I wanted to go on a date with him, so I really didn't want to have sex with him. Honestly, I don't think the sex was bad in technical terms, but it just became somewhat of an obligation for his companionship at the time, and that's just not how sex should feel. End of comments. There was lots I could draw from, but I wanted to pick a few and discuss them. The reoccurring message in these comments is that the man did something wrong or it was the man's fault. Now this may be the case. There is no excuse for not looking after yourself and no excuse for putting on weight. The reason why this is important though is that men get complacent. They think love will prevail and protect their slobbery and lack of effort from being punished. It's not the case. Women will grow tired and move on. Love is not permanent. You can do everything right, however a woman will still lose respect and interest in you. The third story highlights this. The post begins. I have been married for 14 years, we got engaged after we found out she was pregnant with our daughter. A while ago, I got a call from the mom of my daughter's friends. A group of her friends were talking about boyfriends, and my daughter told them all about how men use women for sex and girls should only date for the explicit purpose of getting married. I'll admit I haven't been the most progressive dad. I let my wife handle the sex talk for both kids, but this wasn't the attitude I thought we wanted to instill. When I went to talk to my wife about whether we should go from here, she just gave me this look and said, but her daughter is right. I asked her if I thought she only wanted her for sex. She said, no, you like that I clean and cook for you, too. I found out that every time I thought my wife was giving my children the talk, she's been telling them how she was a smart young woman with her whole life ahead of her before I pressured her into premarital sex, and she had to give up her entire life to raise and take care of them and me. I've been trying to undo years of damage, but my kids won't hear me out. They've been condescending for a while, but I wrote that off as teenagers thinking they know everything. Instead they think I'm a sex-crazed idiot. She's told them every issue of our marriage, including our issues with a dead bedroom and explicit lies about how I planned to leave her for a woman who would let me have sex with her all I wanted. My daughter told me to my face that of course I like premarital sex, because I got a woman to take care of me out of it. She described her mother's labor pains and issues with incontinence to me, and that she's excited to keep herself pure. My son doesn't really care, but as soon as his mother's around he's on her side, and that he also wants a clean girl. I feel like I'm living in a nightmare. They act normal so long as I don't bring it up, but how can I go back to a regular life? It's tearing me up inside. End of the post. Do you think this man thought the woman he was with would see him this way, tell his kids that he is this monster who ruined her life? No, of course he didn't. All the stories I've covered here should serve to remind you that women will not love you how you want to be loved. They will not appreciate you, you will eventually slip up, you are not allowed to let yourself go, their love is conditional and constantly can disappear. Work on yourself, develop a strong independent foundation in your life, one that women can't shake. If you want children, make sure that you do this without affecting your individual life, as a woman will ruin this if you give her permission to. Thanks for listening.